Hello, this is Dr. Rebecca Doherty. I'm just going to talk about how we can use our own self-talk as adults out loud to model approaches to tasks, approaches to learning that we would like to develop in children and young people that we're working with, so that we can support them to increase their meta-cognition, that is their awareness of their own thinking, and the way in which they engage with tasks and engage with learning. So we might want to support children to develop their ability to sustain attention, to keep their attention really focused on a task. We might want to develop their propensity to check their work, to not rush things through, to be careful with their work. We might want to encourage them to look really carefully at the instructions, perhaps to be a little bit more methodical in their work. So there's a lot of thinking approaches that we might want to develop in children and young people to help them make the most of the abilities that they've got. The difficulty with that can be that a lot of our approaches to learning are invisible to other people. So most of the time, children don't have a model about what other people are doing. They don't know when they see another person doing well or engaging appropriately, effectively with a task, they don't necessarily know what's going on inside that person's head. But if we use our own self-talk, albeit moderated and honed for that specific interaction with that child, if we use self-talk ourselves out loud, we can provide a model for thinking. So this works with a child's natural propensity to copy things that they see around them. And you may have interacted with children who have a tendency to just to mirror and to copy things that other people say. So it works with that inclination that a lot of children have anyway. Whether or not they then verbally say it out loud or just think it inside their head, it's difficult to know. But the more that we provide a model, the more that we give the children a structure and a framework for their own thinking skills. So when we're supporting a child, when we're teaching a child, either as a parent, as a teacher teaching the whole class, or perhaps a TA or somebody working individually with a child, we're going to model and we're going to say out loud the self-talk that we would like the child to have inside their own head. So if we're wanting to support them with attention, this might sound like, okay, I'm keeping my brain really focused. I'm keeping my brain really focused. And we might actually want to say the same or a very similar phrase quite frequently to give a really clear template for the child. And often we will then hear the child mirror back exactly what we've said to them. We might want to encourage them to look at their work carefully, to check for mistakes. So we might use a phrase like, if I spot a mistake, I can correct it. I'm checking my work now. If I spot a mistake, I can correct it. And then if we do go on to see the child do that, we can give them really clear, genuine, specific feedback or praise for doing that. We can say, you did that thing. You spotted a mistake and then you corrected it. So we can really use the same terms frequently to make it a thing, to make it something that the child becomes aware of, because that's what metacognition is, right? An awareness of our own thinking. We might want them to work out what the rule is in a puzzle or a type of approach. So we might just encourage that. Let me work out what the rule is here. Let me work out what I have to do here. I don't know yet. Let me work out what I have to do here. So the things that we are doing automatically in our own heads, or we might do if we were approaching a task, we're just going to say it out loud so the child has the benefit of our self-talk and they can use that as a model for their own self-talk. Okay, so that's what it's all about. And we can use that same approach for all sorts of things. If we're ever thinking, oh my goodness, it'd be really helpful if the child checked their work a little bit more, or if they could just keep the brain a bit more focused on the task, whatever it is that we think, oh, it'd be great if they could do that. Okay, think, what is the self-talk you would ultimately like the child to have in their head? And you model that. You say exactly those things, really clear, really succinct, don't over-egg it, really accessible. Just say it frequently. And then if we hear the child either saying it or showing those behaviors, we can give them genuine, specific feedback and praise for doing just that. Okay, I hope you get on well.